Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's time for another manga volume review. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's time for Game of Familia Volume 2. This is one that I reviewed first volume about a month and a half ago. I think so, 2 months ago maybe. So the first volume is out on my channel right now. So if you guys are looking for the first volume, it is out there. It is brought to you by Press. Press is a company that releases so many stuff and have a huge umbrella of companies under them. And now they're releasing stuff like on their light novel division, Easy Press with their webtoons. Now they have also J Novel Club, which also releases manga and light novels, and they also have the JY division, which is kind of their middle school, elementary mindset of stuff. So quite a bit of companies under them releasing stuff. So if you haven't checked them out, go check them out. Yempress.com, great company. They do provide review copies for you guys. If you guys want to further support my channel, then you guys can comment, like, and share. You can also check out the description below for my social media and other stuff that I have up there for you guys. And then lastly, if you want to and you're still watching up to this point, then might as well subscribe to my channel, because that helps tremendously. Okay, Game of Familia. First and foremost, it did come in a little plastic thing, which tells me that yes, it has this parental advisory warning. Throwing it out there because even though 95% of my viewership is 18 and up, there's still those a few handfuls that are not. So just heads up, it is parental maturity warning sticker. This one definitely means it. I reviewed other series just actually minutes ago, reviewed this one, which also has it, but that one not so much. It doesn't really mean it so much. This one, it does, and they all have kind of the same thing: language, nudity, sexual content, and violence. It just means different things for different series. This one definitely is more on the explicit side. Just heads up, throwing it out there in case you're like me, who sometimes appreciate less of that stuff on the stuff that you read. So it is what it is. We're following the story of Sasie and his sisters and stepmother, who were sent into another world. So his two sisters, Manako and Hinana, who are daughters of Kanye, so none of them are really related to Sasie technically, other than by law. And we learned a little bit of their past and how he is, but it was kind of weird because it started off at almost midpoint of the volume, and essentially Manako, Kanye, and Hinana are left behind by Sasie, and they are trying to survive this battle, and troops arrive from the capital and defend them, and it's all nice and dandy. But then they're kind of arguing with them that they left the capital basically unprotected and this is bad. And yeah, what ends up happening is there's a huge army of dead male, or actually no, dead males who they were defending in the front of the castle. It's an army of a traitor, and ends up happening that when the troops rush there and get there, there's a huge crate. They're all dead. Ends up being that Sasie is the one that killed them off. Now, how did this happen? Well, Sasie went up to the king and asked for basically troops directly and says, hey, we need your help. They said no. He's like, well, I can lend a hand if anything happens. He said no. So he was kind of arrested and almost ridiculed, and he knew that this was happening, knew this was going to happen, and the queen shows up. Now the queen, Cirrus, she ends up being seduced by Saskia, and that's the most vanilla way I can put it in. And they end up sleeping together. We'll put it as vanilla as possible. And through them sleeping together, he basically enchants her and learns ways to convince her to basically convince the king to send troops. So that's how he does it. Now, what happens then, right? Because the king is pretty much what ends up happening is the king gets news that Saskia is in control of Cirrus, and she is gonna run away with him and leave the king, and the king's panicking because she's been by his side all his life since the beginning. So he gives in to Saskia's basically wants to basically convince him to give him back his queen. Now this is what the story goes in the middle. The story changes because what ends up happening is they need something so that Manako, Kane, and Hinata that are now entering the kingdom are not killed or arrested because they're associate to Saskia. So what ends up happening is the queen, being sneaky as she is, plays another card and essentially tells the king that she made everything up, that none of this actually happened, and that all she did was try to force the king's hand to do what was right. And she knew that through Saskia, they were going to find great power. So she ends up being as the big, hero of the kingdom. Saskia is a strong warrior. Everyone else is respected. Big whoop, right? We all know, and it does say in the manga, if you read it, it's like the king didn't have any other choices. Like, if the other choice would have been accept that your woman betrayed you and basically you are weak and this guy can do whatever he wants, and unless they went with this story, which they did, and that's what they end up doing. Then the volume ends with the king saying, hey, we're trying to make peace with another kingdom next to ours, and they force the three girls to choose who's going to be the bride of this king. Now this king, he is brutal. He killed his previous king before him, and he went and sexually assaulted, I'll just put it like that, all the people that belonged to the king. Princesses, queens, any family member, any connection to them, he did stuff to them, got them pregnant. It was just weird and horrible person. Manako volunteers because the whole plan is not to actually become his wife, but to go pretending to be his wife and then kill him. And that's what they want to do. They want to get rid of this trash of the world, which personally, good. So the volume ends with them arriving and Saskia realizing that the closer they get to the kingdom, the less magic they can use, which is a big problem because Saskia was there to kill the king and now he can't use his powers. That in a nutshell is volume 2. I want to say there is other scenes that happen that are awkward between, Saskia and his sisters and mother. We do find out that his ways are learned through his father, Taiki, who apparently his father used to break marriages and he used to do this, convince women to do stuff for him, and then lead them astray, which is what Saskia thinks that was going to happen with Kanye and her daughters, but they ended up being in this world. So kind of weird, to be honest, but it is what it is. Other stuff does happen in the volume. It is an easier read than most mangas, but it is very explicit. So I do like the story. That's the thing. It actually moves to a more realistic mindset. Like, in reality, if people were in this position, there will be this type of deaths, there'll be this type of betrayals and stuff like that. There is some stuff that I think, okay, is way over the top, which I don't really mention here in my review, but I'm going to put this one at a 5.56, like, so 5.75, I guess. that's my bell to end this video. I don't think it's for everyone, but I do find that there's going to be a group of people that would enjoy reading this one. So go check it out. Yin Press has it. Go find different ways to buy it, either online or in store. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Go watch Volume 1 if you want, and thank you so much. Like, comment, and share. Watching up to this point, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.